Hello, Dr. Ratcliffe here. I just wanted to make a brief video welcoming you to this class and giving you a little bit of insight into some issues that befall many students as they take an online course like this. First of all, I'm glad you're here. A short summer term is a great way to get credit quickly, and of course an online class is also a convenient way, a more flexible way to take a class such as public speaking. But when you tell people that you're taking a speech class online, you probably get a lot of weird looks or some questions. I know I do when I tell people that I teach this class online. So how does it work? Well, you need to understand that the goal of a speech class is to prepare you to give a speech in an academic or professional setting. And so though you may be doing your speeches at home, you need to keep in mind that this is a professional assignment to prepare you for a professional setting. And so when you see that long list of YouTube recording requirements, some of those are put into place to steer you toward remembering that this is for a professional speech. Others of those requirements are there to really make sure that I can see your recording and I can see you in the recording. You'd be surprised what I get from students if I don't have very clear instructions on how to record a speech. So what does a professional speech look like? Well, in order for it to be a public speech, you have to have a public. So that's why we require you to have a live audience of at least 3 adults over the age of 18. You can have some younger people in your audience, but you have to have at least 3 live adults. Please don't ask me why I put the qualifier live in there. It can't be a mannequin. I've got stories to tell about that. So 3 live adults, because we're trying to get you into the habit of at least standing in front of a small group and giving a speech. Next, you need to consider the environment in which you give a speech. Obviously, we're not going to make you come to campus because you signed up for an online class. But let's think about what a campus speech class would be like. Well, it'd be in a classroom setting where your audience is sitting down and you are standing up. So you need to do this at your home. You need to have your audience sit down and you need to stand up. In a classroom or professional setting, you would be facing your audience. So in your speeches in this class, face your audience. Talk to them. Don't talk to the camera. The camera person can be an audience member. They can count as one of your 3 adults. But they need to be in with the audience and not over to the side. Since you're going to be speaking directly to your live audience, I don't need a side shot of you. So move that camera person in with your live audience so I can see head to toe, front view of you, because that way I can gauge your facial expression, your eye contact with your audience, your body movement, and those things are very important aspects. If I can't see them, I can't grade them. And therefore, that causes some issues for you because points are deducted from your grade. You want to make sure that the environment you choose is a quiet location in which the only thing happening is your speech. Just as it would be in a classroom or professional setting, we don't need to be outdoors because the outdoor noise is quite distracting. We don't really need to have pets running around. I know this is kind of difficult because a lot of people have indoor pets these days. But in a classroom or a professional environment, you wouldn't see little Fido trotting across the room or barking in the background. So try as hard as you can to eliminate distractions. So really the camera is just there to capture you trying to give us or giving a successful speech, right, to your live audience, and it is not the only member of your audience. So keep that in mind. Make sure your background is quiet, turn off the TVs, things like that. Just think about things. Would I do this if I were in a classroom? Would I go barefoot if I were in a classroom giving a speech? Would I wear my pajamas? So things like that, just keep in mind and you'll do fine. Let's talk a little bit about the team presentation. This really confuses people. First of all, it's a long, wordy assignment, and I apologize for that. There's a lot of reading in an online class because it takes the place of what we normally would do, like this lecturing style that we normally get in a face-to-face class. We don't get that as much in an online class, and so we have to write down very explicit, clear instructions for students. So read the instructions. Yes, some of them are long, but you can do it. So as you're reading that team presentation or speech 5 instructions, I know it's at the end of the semester, but you're going to be working on this project throughout the whole term in your team discussions. You want to make sure that as you are completing this assignment, you understand that you will basically be giving your individual part of this big team presentation on your own, just like you are delivering your other speeches for this course. That means you will be at the location of your choosing. You don't have to come to campus or meet with your team to do this. If you choose to give your other speeches in your living room, the speech you give for your team presentation also can be in your living room. It can be with your same audience of family and friends, but basically you're going to video your segment of the team presentation. You're going to submit it just the same, and I'm just going to watch your videos in order. And so team member 1 for your particular group, I'll watch your video first, and then team member 2, I'll watch your video. So I get these segmented videos, but I watch them all in order, so it looks like I'm watching a cohesive presentation. And those discussions are really going to allow you to coordinate some things such as PowerPoint, introducing the next speaker to follow you, and get everyone on track so you know what you're talking about and what are some things that each person needs to contribute for that particular project. So it may seem really wordy, a long assignment, but basically it's pretty straightforward. And if you have any questions, of course, just let me know. All right, so I've given you kind of a basic overview of what I'm expecting with the videoing of your presentations in this class. The YouTube recording rules, which is found in Module 1, is going to be very important that you understand, you know, are familiar with those, and you are required to pass on that information to the person who is recording your speech. And so give them direction, clear direction. Here's where you need to stand. Here's what you need to do. And so one of the things that I don't want that camera person to do is move the camera off of you once you start speaking. So as you'll read, there's several things that they need to do before. So you need to show your note cards to the camera. The camera person needs to pan the audience so I can see that there's actually people there listening to you. And then the camera needs to come back to you and stay on you for the entirety of the speech. It doesn't need to pan back to the audience. It doesn't need to zoom in on PowerPoint. I give pretty explicit, clear directions on PowerPoint and how those should be right beside you as you deliver your speech. So as we get to that assignment or those assignments, just read that very carefully. Okay, so recording speech is very important, not only so that I can see them, but also making sure you understand the goal is not for you just to speak to a camera, but for you actually to speak to a live audience. And then, of course, we dealt a little bit with team presentations and some things to expect there. So the team discussions are off and running. I'm glad to see that many of you are already well into that first discussion. That's really good. You can't wait till the last minute to post on these team discussions because you need a consensus. You need discussion, decision making, and that can only happen when everyone is participating back and forth multiple times. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions about anything, just let me know. I'm really easy to contact. My email is arat@tjc.edu, and then the best way to contact me is through the Canvas inbox messaging system, and because this comes to my phone like a text message, so I usually get back to you pretty quickly when you send me a message there. If I can help you in any way, once again, just let me know. I'm glad you're here. I look forward to seeing your first speeches this week, and until next time, thanks so much.